Hi, I'm Kamara Casson, and in this video, I'm going to talk about inadequate mirroring and the internalized parental voice. It's important to realize that inadequate mirroring during the child's development is not usually done on purpose. It's not something that parents consciously do. They don't wake up one day and think, I am going to neglect to give my child the attention, love, and positive feedback that they need so that they'll grow up feeling bad about themselves. That just doesn't happen. However, inadequate mirroring and emotional neglect can happen unintentionally at times. In fact, it happens to every parent some of the time. There are also parents who don't know how to mirror adequately because they weren't given that from their parents as children. We are all a product of our environment until we decide to change and heal ourselves. Sometimes there are circumstances beyond our control that lead a person to be unable to be mindful and present. For instance, in times of grief and loss and depression. I myself understand this one the most. When my daughter was sick and dying, it was incredibly difficult for me to be both physically and emotionally available for my other child. When I wasn't taking care of Anaya, I was exhausted, grieved, and stressed. I did the best I could, and I gave my older daughter as much of myself as possible. And it wasn't intentional, and it wasn't my fault, but the fact is that the 6-year-old daughter did not get the attention and adequate mirroring that she needed from me during that time. There are many reasons that someone's attention and best intentions can go awry during parenting. When it happens infrequently, it can be a minor thing. But if the inadequate mirroring happens most of the time, then you're in trouble. The child will begin to crave attention and desire to feel good about themselves, and so that they feel as though they have a right to exist. This causes the formation of a substitute sense of self. When the parent responds in a way that criticizes or undermines the child's value, the child feels hurt and believes it to be true. Babies and children are incredibly trusting. They believe everything that we tell them as the truth until they learn otherwise. They simply accept it. That is why verbal abuse affects children so strongly. They take whatever is said about them as the truth and they lock it away inside themselves. It is so important to watch the way you speak to your kids. It becomes their internalized parental voice and they will hear it in their heads throughout their lives. When a mother tells her child, "You're a bad boy," the child learns to think, "I am a bad boy." And the same can be true of any critical remark, like, "You're such a slob," or "You're always lazy, you never do this right." These are hurtful comments that can cause psychological damage and becomes a negative internalized parental voice. By the same token, words of appreciation and affirmation can become a positive internalized parental voice. Things like, "You can do this," "You are good at learning things," "It's okay to feel what you feel," "I love you." So if you're a parent, you need to be careful when it's time to discipline your child. Make sure that if they've behaved badly, it's the behavior that you are addressing, not them as a person. For example, say the child has run into the street and the parent is speaking to them afterwards. It could go like this. "When you run out into the street, it's dangerous, honey. It concerns me that you are going to get hurt. It's important to be safe. I love you and I don't want you to get hurt. From now on, I'm going to hold your hand whenever we are near the road." Or it could go the other way, like this. "Don't run out in the street. That's bad, very bad. You're a bad boy. You deserve a spanking." Or some other threat. You see the difference? One teaches something and one threatens something and causes negative internalized parental voice. But by providing adequate mirroring to our children and creating a positive internalized parental voice within them, we give them the best opportunity to develop a healthy sense of self inside. If you're listening and realizing that you didn't get the mirroring that you needed and you have a negative internalized parental voice in your head telling you how you should be, then you may be living with a substitute sense of self, and it's definitely worth your time to do something about it.